So today I'm going to go over how to make a video on Vyond. So this is going to be a little tutorial. First, you're obviously going to click on make a video. And once you click on that, there's three styles that you can choose from: contemporary, business friendly, and whiteboard animation. And if you scroll over, you kind of get a feel for what they're looking like. And if you scroll down a little bit more, they show a recommended for each three. On the third one, whiteboard, I'm going to choose that since it's recommended for tutorials, and that is what I'm doing. And as we wait for it to load, as soon as it loads in, there's going to be a pre-made slide, and we're actually just going to get rid of that. So we're going to right click and delete it. And then we got a blank slide here. So once we get to this blank page, we're going to scroll up here to throw in a character of choice. And then there's a long list of different sections that you can find people, or we can look via a search bar. So let's look for an old person. And there's 4 different men to choose from, and then let's click on him, and then you just drag and drop him into your own thing. You just click it again to get out of it, and we're ready to move him around. So we're going to enlarge him a little bit, do some things. So once we finish enlarging him, you make sure he's highlighted, and then we're actually going to enter an effect on how he gets put in. Right now we have it set to him being drawn in by a whiteboard hand. And there's different hands you can choose from. So we'll just keep it the same. And we will also end and exit. So at the end of the slide, he should just walk on to the right. And if you preview, you can see if it's something you're going to want as the one that you want. So I'm going to preview this one as well. That's a white. I don't really like any of these, so I'm not going to have an exit effect for when we transition to another slide. The next part is we can give him an action. So let's look for an action of walking. Should we give the old guy a cane? Nah. Let's make him look businessy. We'll apply this one where he's tired from work, because we're all tired from work. And now we can preview how this video will actually turn out by him being drawn in and walking. After the preview ends, you can push this little arrow down here behind the or below the little film reel, and you can see all the different things you added in there. So we only have one person in there, so there's only one bar. But as we add more, there'll be more and more bars as it goes on. And to increase the time of the slide, we just slide it over like so. And then we'll add some text to them. First, let's find a speech bubble. So we'll go to the props in the screen, and that's only screens and films. Where can we find the speech bubble? No, that wasn't it. and you type in speech after looking for it, and you can find it easier. So let's give him some thought bubbles, since he's going to be thinking to himself here. And then you can move the speech bubble to the right so it appears after he has already appeared. And now we add some text to go inside of there. So let's just add this text. Phew, tired. And we'll let them appear after the speech bubble. So then we're going to go to preview and see how it's turning out. And there you have it. There's props, guy moving slowly, and the speech bubble coming in. Now we can keep adding more to the scene, which I'll do that right now. So now that I added some props, I added a storefront that he's walking by, some trees, and he's walking uphill. He's walking home from work now. And then, as you can see down below, the more I add, the more things will appear. So then what you do to make each one animated separately, you got to move just a little bit past the green bar for each one. So as you can see, each one is going off at a separate time. And then for the cloud, the reason why it's so long is because with that exit transition that I talked about earlier, I had put one in to slide off the screen. And the longer it is how the duration. If it's shorter, it would shoot across the screen. This elongates it to make it seem like it's actually blowing in the wind. And I'll make it a little bit longer just so you can see. And then you can preview and save at any time. And we're going to preview the whole little short that we've made. So as you can see, each thing comes in. And we're going to have this cloud start moving off the screen now while he's walking home from work. Wow, I'm tired. And that ends the preview of our tutorial. And you can shorten the slide, so if it went on for too long, we can just bring it down to here so that it ends a little bit quicker. But once you get this little triangle, that means you're cutting off something. So if we scroll down, we can see that it's cutting off from the speech bubble that we've made for him right there. So we're going to just go until it's long enough so that the triangle disappears. And now everything should be good to go. And then you can add extra slides. If you add a scene, you can just add a blank scene, or you can add a template, and they have a variety that's already ready for you. There's even education ones, and some of the education ones, there's like a math classroom, but you can delete each object within it. I'll show you. This is the pre-made slide, and then you can delete the text that's inside of those and put in a blank one. Blackboard. As you can see, you can add one right there, and then you right click and you can send it to the back so it's behind the man or the teacher. And there's even a little math book. You can click on it individually and delete it, and then we can look up a different stack of books, some English books. And you want one that's open on the desk, there's a blank book here, or we can be cool and give them a stack of books. So there's a lot that you can play around with in this, and it takes time to get everything like really neat and organized. And with the slide transitions, you can make it so it seems like he's actually writing on the board and moving. It just takes, like I said, a little bit of time to get everything good. And that's the tutorial on how to use Vyond. There are some extra things in it that you can do that I'm not going to go into that much, but there's a character creator. So you can create a new character and it takes you away from this screen, and you can literally build a character from scratch. So if you want a teacher that resembles you, once you do make one, you'll have it in the saved file, which I just made an old teacher, kind of basing off of this guy. But I wanted to wanted him to have white pants and white shoes instead of black pants. But I based it off of him, and I changed his eyebrows and his hairstyle. So those are some of the things that I changed. And then you can add charts. So if you were like doing a business one, which I don't see why, or if we were for some reason talking about statistics in English class, we could do bar graph, line graphs, and such. And there's a way to add audio. You can add your own voice, or you can change the words he says as a robotic voice, which is kind of weird. And then you can add music to it. I'm not a fan of any of these musics, really. I wasn't going to go through all of them. And then there's the background where you can just choose a basic they're not for the whiteboard ones, they're for the other two styles, but you can choose those. And yeah, that's pretty much it for what you can do. Thank you.